folks, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat and today I would like to talk about Spellbreaker by Charlie N Holmberg. Elsie has the ability to see, hear or just feel spells and undo them, an ability that is highly regulated but she is not registered, so she needs to keep it hidden. She works for a stonemason, but sometimes she receives missions from what she calls the cowls, the people that picked her up after her first successful spell breaking. That ended in a bit of a catastrophe, like a minor catastrophe. So she sometimes goes on missions for them. On one of these missions she runs into Bacchus, a mage who came to London to get his rank as master and a very specific spell. In turn for him not handing her over to the authorities, she agrees to help him with a few things. While working together they come across many mysteries and quite a few murders as well. You get to see both the perspectives of Elsie and Bacchus in this, and I quite liked Elsie. She likes to think of herself as a Robin Hood style of criminal, kind of, and if all things were as they seem, that would also be quite accurate. Unfortunately, there are bigger things afoot, and some of the things she finds out really turn her world upside down. She has a keen interest in gossip, maybe a little too much, but then again she doesn't actually gossip herself, she just wants to know everything and hear about everything. And she also still suffers from her family leaving her behind when she was small, and that plays into some of her interactions and inner thought processes as well. Bacchus is a very determined character, who despite his fairly high standing in society, I would say, because he seems to have quite a bit of money, still feels just how crappy the whole system is, where a couple of mages get to tell you what spells you may or may not own and whether you're allowed to achieve this rank or not. Because the system as a whole is still classist, misogynistic, patriarchal and racist, so there's quite a lot of going on there, but then again we're in Victorian England again, so it's not all that surprising, I suppose. But Bacchus has to fight quite a few people to get what he wants, and he doesn't even get all of it, which turns out to work out for him in the end, but he has to fight quite a few people. Poor Bacchus. Fantasy might not be the first genre anyone looks to, but I think the cozy mystery genre could learn something from the misdirection in this book. As the reader you might see a couple of things coming while Elsie is still figuring them out, but overall Holmberg does a really good job of misdirecting your suspicions, I think. One mystery relating to Bacchus gets halfway solved in this book, but we don't find out who's behind it yet. I have a very strong suspicion who it might be, but I will have to wait until book 2 to find out. The book ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, so I kind of hope that the next one will start off right where we left off, because we're only halfway through the story really, like a minor point has been solved I suppose, but the overall mystery and crime spree still remains unsolved. The magic system is once again very interesting, but clearly not well enough regulated, as you find out with all the revelations about who can do what over the course of the story. Regulations kind of fail the mages here. So there are 4 schools of magic and you can dedicate yourself to any one of them, suppose, and if you start learning in one and then change directions, you can only ever reach a certain level in one of them. It's like you use up some of your magic to learn something in one school of magic and then you can't reach a master rank in the other anymore. And you can see or you encounter some mages who look down on others who have more than one direction as well. So yeah, again a bit classist. Spells are something that has to be bought with a specific magic currency, which seems to be really hard to come by. And mages also get a say in whether you are allowed the spell you were hoping for or not, like Bacchus, who has his wish at first denied by the council. And because the whole system is kind of screwed and pretty rubbish, it's really not hard to root for Elsie and Bacchus anyway. Plus they're also interesting and kind of stubborn characters to follow, which I appreciated. This also makes it fairly easy to feel really bad for Elsie when things start going sideways for her. So overall, I adored this book as well, and I can't wait to get started on the second book, but there are so many books on my TBR, so it might have to wait a bit. Anyway, I loved it and I can only recommend it if you are interested in fascinating magic systems, sturdy little characters who go their own way. Okay, not little. Bacchus is definitely not little. Then this book might be for you. So it gets this cat from me, and I can only recommend it if you like fantasy and the Victorian era. If you've read any other works by Charlie N Holmberg, let me know which of the magic systems you like best. Because I think so far I still prefer the one from Paper Magician over this one, even though they're both interesting in their own right. Do let me know in the comments if you've read some of her other books. Like and subscribe if you want to help this channel out, and I'll be back next week with another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!